So while you're getting ready for your new year, here are 10 things I am not doing this upcoming year. Hi, beautiful people. Welcome. If you are new here, I am Dani Wigfall, your go-to relationship coach. I also happen to be a mental health therapist, creative artist, mom, wife, yada yada. The list goes on. I'm not getting into that list right now. Welcome to my channel. Here on my channel, I teach you how to design your remarkable life, grow deeper in love with yourself, and possibly someone else. So let's get into it. Number one. Okay, this year is a big year. I can feel it. I just know it. It's a big year. It's a big year for me. I'm claiming that it is a big year for you. I'm just going to put it out there for you, okay? So let's get into number one. Anger. A lot of times when we hear anger, we think, ooh, negativity, that's uncomfortable. I don't like it. Madness. We think of all these negative things. What I'm not doing is I'm not wasting my anger. What does that mean? Anger can be so powerful when you use it the right way. Some people can be unstoppable. Like if you're going to build after something, like going to the gym, you're angry, go to the gym, take your frustrations out, build your body, build your health, go after those things. Don't waste that anger. Some of you guys are so powerful in that anger zone that you're more powerful there than you are in normal life because you need that boost. Like some of us need a little fire to get us going, right? So this coming year, I'm not wasting my anger. I'm not doing things that are unhealthy. I'm not doing things to possibly numb things. I'm not doing things that aren't building, that aren't growing me, right? So I'm channeling that anger and I'm going to focus it in. I'm not going to just let it fizzle out and die out. It's like, how can I use this energy that I have, because it's so hard to create, into something that I want to build, whether it's my business, whether it's my body, whether it's in reading, whether it's like seriously diving in and focusing in on that one thing. I'm not wasting any anger. So I share that with you guys because a lot of times we can think of anger as this negative emotion. And then we start to think about it and it becomes this feeling of like, ew, I don't want to feel this way. But if you really channel it, it can be one of the most powerful emotions that really moves the needle on things. As long as you're able to keep some type of level of clarity there, and it's not just, I'm seeing red, I'm seeing red, I'm seeing red. We've gone a little too far there. Okay, we got to scale it back, but using that anger and channeling it to build the you that you want to build, powerful. Number two, I'm not holding on to any words that are not my truth, right? A lot of people can speak things over your life and they may have great intentions, but their truth may not be your truth. Their experience may not be the road that you need to take as well, too. So really focusing in for myself is, yes, that might be their truth, doesn't mean that it's my truth. For example, before I got into relationship coaching, I was steering clear of relationships and I didn't even realize I was holding on to someone else's truth. I was at a church conference and I remember sitting there and the lady, very high up and did all the things, had all the books and all the engagements of everything, was saying I would never speak on relationships. I would never be a relationship coach or counselor or anything of the sort because they all end up divorced. And when I heard that, I would thought to myself, oh my goodness, is that true? Do all relationship coaches and counselors end up divorced? Is that a thing? Because at the time I was interested in like relationships and thinking about relationships. And I was just kind of like toiling with that idea for the future. But then once she said that, I didn't even realize it. It shut that down for me. I was like, no, let me put a pin in it and see, right? Then confirmation bias starts to kick in. That means like as soon as you hear something, you see it, then you start seeing more of that thing. It's confirming that bias that you have. Like when you buy a car, now everyone has that same car. Now you're seeing more of it. It's like, now I bought this car. Everybody must have this car. No, it's just now you're seeing it more because you already have it, right? It's bringing your attention to it. So I started to see a lot of relationship coaches and counselors, if they weren't divorced, getting divorced, and then people that I held at like very high esteem, which I still do. And I was like, no, nothing is going to break their marriage, like nothing. And then when they ended up divorced, I was like, It's true. It's true. I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not going to touch it. I don't even want to go there. Like, it's not happening. But I realized after some time to let that go. That's not going to be my truth. This is an area I care about. I care about connecting people. I care about people growing wealth in their relationship with themselves, in their relationship with their partner, not just living together, but no, we're growing together. Now we have a wealthy, you heard that, wealthy relationship. And you guys know, and if you're new here, wealth for me is not just financial. It's we're building our body, our mind, our spirit, and then the F's, right? Our friends and family life. What does that look like for us as a couple? We're building our fun life. What does that look like? Our finances. What are our goals? What are we reaching after? What's next? What's next for you? What's next for me? All of those things. And then what are we doing for others, right? What is our purpose? What are we giving? How are we sharing our talents, our treasures, our time, those things, right? So that's wealth. So when I talk about wealth, that's wealth. So I know our day and age, wealth is money, 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 first thing you hear. But when I work with my clients, we work through a holistic framework, and that's where we go and that's where we build. So you don't get that, oh, I'm growing apart, or oh, I don't like myself, or I don't know who I am. No, we're getting in alignment and we're growing and we're building together. It's the passion I have for it. So I couldn't just let that fizzle out. Some of us have passion for things, and other people, they won't get it. They won't understand it, but it's not for them to get or to understand. It's for you. So don't let them quiet your dream. Don't let them give you a truth that is not your truth. So that's what I'm sharing. I'm not taking on other people's truths coming into this new year. Number three, this one is big for me. And actually, I got this from my dad. I don't know. Before, when I was little, I used to do crunches with my dad, and I hate all ab work, period, point blank, hate it, right? And so we would do our little home workouts together. And I would just, the crunches where it's like just your arms moving, but none of your core is working. Yeah, that was me. Like when he wasn't looking, I was like, 1, 2, 3. It was just a butterfly effect, right? And so my dad would look over at me and he would say this line every time: you're only cheating yourself, right? And so I have taken that mantra throughout my life in very different areas of my life. Is one, I'm not cheating myself. So number three is don't cheat yourself in anything, whether that's going after a promotion, whether that's going after the love of your life, whether that's going after something you've dreamt of that you felt is too big for you, whether that is not choosing something luxurious because you feel that, oh, I'm not used to having this. This is all I know. So I'm not going to choose that. Whether it's cheating yourself in the gym and it's like, I'm just going to half butt it right now. I'm not going to give it my all. Like, whatever. And then some things I promote not giving your 100%. Some things, but you have to know what those things are. And having that value alignment will help you to know, okay, is this something I need to go 110 in, or is this something I need to give 80% to because I got other things cooking in the fire and 80% is good, right? So measuring that out. But I'm saying, don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. Even in relationships, people will do this thinking, I'm getting ahead on someone else, like, ooh, I'm talking to all these different people when they have a diamond right there. And they're at the end of the day cheating themselves because you lost out on something so priceless to gain a short term fulfillment or a short time of like, oh, yay, this is great. This is fulfilling this need of the moment, where it's like you could have built a legacy or a future, that could have lasted without the damage, without a lot of rebuilding trust, without the breaking of a relationship. So you cheated yourself out of that because you wanted to fulfill a specific need. So in a lot of ways, don't cheat yourself. There's a lot of ways this can come up, and it's just like, don't cheat yourself. Like it's like, I'm not gonna drink those 8 glasses of water today. It's like at the end of the day, who are you cheating? Just you. I'm gonna put this on a t-shirt. I'm gonna put this on a hat, okay? Because I do love my hats. Don't cheat yourself. Ooh, and I almost forgot, another way people cheat themselves is playing small, right? Asking permission for things, right? Don't cheat yourself. Go for it. If it's something that you want, go for it. No one has to give you the yes. Sometimes it's because we haven't seen someone do it before where we feel like we need to ask permission. Go. If you need to pivot, pivot. But weigh the risk. Can you bear the risk? A lot of times we can bear the risk, but we tell ourselves no before we allow someone else to tell us no. So, what in your life are you telling yourself no to? What in your life are you cheating yourself from because you've already just denied yourself before someone else denied you? Let alone someone denying you and you trying another door. But you've already said no before someone gave you that no. And sometimes that no can look like, oh, I'm too old for this. I'm too young for this. I don't have enough money for this. That's a big one. I don't have the resources for this. I don't have the nice house to start this. I don't know about business to start this. All of that stuff, cheating yourself, right? Abundance mindset says, I may not have this, so we're not lying. I may not have this right now, but I can figure it out. I can get creative. How can I make this happen? How can I make this a reality for myself? Instead of, well, this is all I know. This is all I've seen. It's not for me. Number 4, I'm not feeling guilty for taking care of my body, right? There's a lot of times, and I will admit it, okay? I'm one of those people that likes to work. I don't like all of the work I do. Like there's some administrative stuff where I'm like, as soon as I'm about to hire somebody, I'm about to hire someone. But when it comes to taking care of my health, making that more of a priority instead of like, ooh, I've got all of these work things to do. And sometimes I will set a gym time of like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym or I'm gonna work out at this time. But I will choose to keep working because I'm like, no, but I gotta get this thing done. I gotta get this. And so I'll prioritize the work over taking care of my body. And one of the things is if I don't have my body, I'm not going to be able to work. If I don't have my body, there's a lot of things I'm not going to be able to do. So realizing on my value structure that I have, for me, like my health and my body being able to do certain things that I can do now and keeping that up is like a top priority. So it has to reflect in my schedule. It has to reflect. Because if it's not reflecting and I'm valuing work, which is common in America, unfortunately, but don't get me into the whole systems of why that is and yada yada, because I can go on that, but we're not there. We're not going there. Is focusing in on my body and my health. You know, making more times to choose that than finishing up this assignment I have to do, finishing up notes, finishing up creating whatever. You know, so making that yes, but also I had to find a time that works for me where I'm like, okay, this is my non-negotiable time, unless it's an emergency, which means I guess it's a little negotiable, but unlikely that I'm going to get some movement in. I'm going to get some extra steps in. So that is planned out for next year. So I'm setting myself up for success versus I know myself. If I set a time for afternoon, evening to work out, it's not happening. I'm going to choose work every time. I'm going to choose being with my family. I'm going to choose everything besides moving my body. But morning time, before my brain can start to like think about things, just wake up, have my gym clothes on, drop the kiddos off, do my thing. I'm good. I'm golden. That's a sweet spot for me. So find your sweet spot, okay? But I want to encourage you, take care of your body, take care of your mind. If you don't have your mental health, what do you have? Once the mind goes, the body goes. So that was my number 4. Going into number 5 is crossing off some of the travel things that I have on my list. So I have a big South Africa, Kenya, and Ghana tour that I want to do, right? And I know I have to wait on that because I want my kids to experience that and remember that with me. So I'm going to wait on that for now, and then plus, using the stroller, doing all the stuff. Like if I don't have to bring all the stuff, or I don't want to have to bring all the stuff, right? But you still got to do it to travel anyway. But there I'm like, no, let's go do the safaris. Let's go into the towns. Let's share, let's bring, let's learn, like let's immerse ourselves. And so I don't want to be stopped by all the baby stuff. So I'm going to wait on that one. But let's say other things on my country's list, I would say, is Brazil. That's been on my list for a long time. Portugal is on my list. The UAE. Your girl wants to go to Dubai. Okay, I just want to experience. Okay, I need to experience all the things. maybe a Lamborghini on the water. I just want to try it. Okay, I want to try it. Am I the best swimmer? No. But will I have a swim coach next summer? I will. Okay, I will. So one of these three needs to be crossed off next year by the end of next year. Okay, so what I'm not doing is I'm not crossing off one of the things. Number 6, and I feel like this hits when you're like mid 30s, right? Where you have a choice between I can settle for what I know and kind of keep living here, or I can push for that next thing, that big dream, right? So, number 6 is me not letting go of that big dream of what I really want to build. As they say, that big, audacious, that hairy, audacious goal, right? Not, what do they call it? The BHAG. Big, hairy, audacious goal. Not letting go of that and just still relentlessly going after that and building that, building the things um, that I feel I'm meant to build. So, not letting that go. But I will say there are moments where I'm like, I could sit down. And I feel like I don't know if it's a mid 30s thing or what. You know, I may look your age, but I ain't your age, as they say. Where it's like, okay, I can sit in this for a little bit, but that's really not me. So just going after the big thing that I know, like I want to make sure I'm multiplying the talents that God has given me and I'm not just sitting. Do I believe in resting? 100%. But that is something very different than what I'm talking about. Also, my word for next year is community. Focusing on building community. That is huge for me. I love community, everything around it, everything about it, connecting people, so that is a big thing for me. So you guys will see that next year. I'm not sitting on that. I'm not hibernating. I do like to stay in my own little space sometimes. So really coming out, I like to say I'm an extrovert introvert, so I can be both. There's moments where I really just like to be in my space, and there's moments where I'm like, I'm here. I get recharged being around people. Like I'm not the worked out at home type of person. Like I like to be out, like talking to people when I'm working. No, I don't like to talk to people when I'm working out, but I like being around the energy of people working on themselves, even in the workspace. Like I like, even though we may not be working together, I like being around other creatives and people that are working and doing that thing. It's just like that community piece gives me energy. Another thing in going after the big dream is preparing for the big mountains, right? The things that can stop you. That's what I mean by mountains. Because a lot of times we can dream the dream, but as soon as a little road bump, a mountain hits, the dream is gone and we're on to the next thing. And the next thing you know, it leads to like settling or choosing something that really wasn't designed for us, right? But feels easy, but low key kind of torments us in our mental, right? That space that people don't see. So for me is really preparing for those mountains, knowing that they're going to come. How am I going to tackle them? Even if I don't know what they are. What's in my toolkit where I know this is going to help me stand up? This is going to get me going. Am I in therapy? Do I have a coach? Do I have books? Do I have sermons? Do I have what's supporting me for when these mountains come? And not just assuming, oh, everything's going to be perfect. I feel like I've said that in so many videos now. Everything's going to be perfect. So, yeah, really preparing for the mountains mentally. So, when they do come, it's like, I see you. Now, what do I need to get up this mountain? What type of walking sticks are really going to support me? I don't know if you guys have ever gone on a strenuous hike where you like need walking sticks. What's going to be your support up the mountain versus like, nah, bruh, I'm not hitting that mountain. I'm good. It's not worth it, right? So choosing the big dream versus the easy out, or letting a bump or a mountain knock you off where you don't get back on, okay? Because that is another way where we can be robbed of our destiny, but just not our destiny, other people's destiny. Because usually our destiny is tied to unlocking so many other things for other people. And we don't realize that because so many times we're just looking at ourselves, right? We become that self-centered. This dream is about mine, it's my baby, but it's not. Our gifts are for others, So we don't open a gift, other people don't get to share in that too. And it's just missed opportunities. And I don't want to miss any opportunities. And I don't want to be the cause of other people missing opportunities. So, really preparing for that mountain is going to be key and sticking with that big goal. Number 7, staying in my comfort zone for too long. Now, I spoke on how you hit this point where it's like, I could really kind of coast, but I'm going after the big dream. But staying in that comfort zone also looks like I'm going to choose what I know versus going after the uncharted territory. Sometimes it becomes a habit to choose, oh, I'm going to choose this because this is what I know, even though we are pulled to something else. So just leaning into, yes, understanding, this may not be comfortable. I may be stretched. I may be bent. This might break me, but I'd rather it snap me and break me so then I can pick myself back up than me just bending to the side, not choosing the right path, right? Okay, so sometimes people's biggest break, the things that break them, really helps align them for things that are so much better for their lives, and that's the same here for me, is not staying in my comfort zone too long because it's comfortable. It's comfortable educating myself. It's comfortable learning. But here we go in the doing, in the action, and then putting your money where your mouth is, right? It's just really like investing in it. Everything is an investment. And that's one thing we don't realize is this choice is an investment. Is that investment going to serve you or is it going to diminish you? Does it bring back returns or is it appreciating or is it depreciating, right? Is it an asset or is it a liability? So really looking at, by me making this choice, by me investing in this, is this bringing fruit into my life? Am I building wealth or am I spending, right? Is this draining me? Is this something that can help me in the long run? Really just looking at those things. So not staying too long in my comfort zone. Number 8, I'm not telling myself no unless I've investigated that it is an actual no for myself. As I mentioned before, a lot of times we can tell ourselves no and not even realize it. Some of those things are due to age, money, who we know, our environment, the circle around us, what we've experienced, other people's experiences. Those things will give us a no before we even said, is that really a no? Why is that a no? Why are you too old? Why are you too young? Why can't you find the money for it? Why can't you get a grant? Are there other opportunities? So leaning more into that abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. Number 9, I am so tired of being stuck at the same level of Spanish that I know. I know. But for me, I really want to learn Spanish and Portuguese. And so I'm going to start with Spanish because that's what I know the most of. I finally have committed to this. I was going back and forth for years, years. But because I know more Spanish, I'm going to lean into that. Also, I would love for my kids to learn Spanish as well. They're only going to learn it if I'm making an effort and I'm speaking it in the home, right? So using more language in Spanish. By this time next year, I'm going to know a lot more Spanish than what I know now. I'm not going to be at this same level, okay? I was at this same level for years, okay? Saying the same stuff over and over, being able to understand certain things and use context clues. But no, me speaking, okay, it's going to be different come next year. So just be prepared for that. So I got an app ready to go. I got a Spanish teacher ready to go. And we're going. Okay, we're going. I'm about to get my Joe Franco on. Okay, if you don't know who she is, she speaks a billion different languages and she's amazing. Okay, find her on YouTube. But I'm gonna start one at a time. Okay, I'm not there yet. But I will be learning another language. Okay, and speaking Spanish. So get ready for a little, I was gonna say something in Spanish there, but I was like, let me think about it. Just hablando español, I'm speaking Spanish is what I was trying to say. And I don't know if that was right, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. That's okay. Y'all can help me out. Help me. Help me. Okay. I'm not an expert in that. Help me. Number 10. This is so good. I love this one. And when I tell you this one has changed my life, like when I look back at my life of things that have really changed my life, it's been opportunities that I've almost missed or opportunities that I originally said no to that came back around in a different way. And like, I don't know if that makes me trust when I say no or not, but now that I am aligned with what's right for me, it gives me clarity on my yeses and my nos, what I'm building and what I'm not building. Just because you can build something doesn't mean you should build it. Doesn't mean it's meant for you to build. It may be a distraction. Even if it's a good thing, it may be a distraction for you. So really just taking the time to sit down, is this for me? So not passing up any opportunities that's for you, being open to hearing things out. Sometimes you may not even know it. Like for me, I used to do commercial acting and I loved it. Oh my gosh, I love commercial acting. I was sending out my headshots, my resumes to everybody. And then it's just something unexpected. My dog trainer was asking me, "Oh, what do you do for work?" And I was like, "Oh, do I tell him I'm a commercial actor?" I was living in LA at the time and it was very much the like everyone's an actor. So I was like, maybe I just say, like, oh, whatever. And so I was like, yep, nope, I'm going for it. I'm telling him exactly what I do. Because there's other ways where you're just like, oh, like I work in the industry. There's just other ways to say it, right? Um, and so I was like, no, I'm a commercial actor. I hadn't booked any commercials yet. Okay. But I was like, I'm going for this. This is what I'm focused on. Like I've done other stuff, like a lot of print work and things like that. But I'm like, no, I'm focused on this commercial acting. So I'm going to tell him and I'm going to stand in, I'm a commercial actor. Right. And so he tells me, oh, one of my clients is a big commercial agent, like I can send your stuff. I don't know if anything will happen of it, but I can just send it over. And mind you, I was sending stuff to agents and all of the things time and time again. He sent that. I had a call the next day, was signed that evening. I was like, from my dog trainer, okay? Like, changed my life. Changed my life. Even another example of like having opportunities that changed my life is there's this program called the Posse Program, where if you get into the program, you get to choose from these top amazing schools, and it's a full tuition college scholarship program. If you have not heard of it, please look it up. It is amazing, right? So my counselor in high school was like, "Hey, you should apply for the Posse Program." Um, I'm from Chicago. I knew I was going to Los Angeles, right? And I looked at all the schools. It didn't have a California school on there. So I was like, nope, it's not for me. I know I want California. Like I was focused. I know I want California. Um, and she was like, yeah, but it's a full tuition scholarship if you get it. So figure out some other state you can live in. And I was like, nope, I'm going to California. I'm not applying, right? And so the day before the first interview, she comes to me and she's like, Danielle, they just added Pomona College. They just got a California school. And I was like, oh, okay, I will apply. And I only want that one school. Like, that is it. And as I went through the interview process, all of the things, I got in, and that changed my life. Like everything from meeting my husband, which means I wouldn't have the kids I have now, the relationships, it changed how I think about things. It taught me how to critically think, taught me about the world. Like Pomona College changed my life. And I almost missed out on that opportunity. But to be fair, it was not an opportunity until the night before. But I was thinking of things where this is an opportunity that I almost just was like, okay, I'm not going to go after it, because I was so aligned. So I love that piece, but I also love the piece that it came back to a California school. Getting that scholarship was just, it changed my life trajectory and all of the things. And so I'm still so grateful. I'm grateful for the school I went to and also grateful for the opportunity. So I don't want to pass up any opportunities moving forward that's aligned for me at all. There's so many where I can even mention where it's like someone told me, go to this audition, or I wasn't going to go. And then let's say I booked a contract on something I wasn't going to go to, or it was hard to get to, like it wasn't easy, like I had to figure things out, and I booked it, and like that job was like, wow, I'm set for the rest of the year, or wow, I just did this amazing opportunity that I wouldn't have otherwise have got. So don't miss opportunities that are for you. Okay. And so pay attention to what's aligned, what you're building, but also make a little space for some things that may be unexpected. Something might surprise you. Okay. We have blind spots. All of us have blind spots. So make a little margin for the blind spots, but don't miss those opportunities. And what I mean by that also is sometimes it might be a rainy day and you're like, or it might be snowing, or it might be inconvenient. It's like, now I don't feel like it. All of it sounded good until the day came, and now it's like, I don't feel like it. Don't miss those. It's for you. Go push through. Okay. I want to encourage you to push through. Now, if it's something really, really bad, or something that you're doing health wise, don't push through. Okay. But if it's something you're like, teeter tottering, go. I just want to encourage you, go for it. Don't pass up your blessings. Okay. You never know what's there. Do not pass up your blessings. And another thing, don't ask for permission. Okay. You're there. Stand up tall. I don't care if you have to take on someone else's identity for the moment to gain that confidence, right? Gaining that confidence in who you are, standing tall in it and walking in that room. Don't ask for permission. Just go for it. Okay. A lot of times we ask for permission in certain opportunities where we don't feel worthy. Don't question your worth. Go for it. If that thought came to mind, it came to mind for a reason. Now investigate it. Does it make sense? Can you make it happen? Can you figure it out? Do you know someone? Sometimes it's not what, but who, right? Do you know someone? Sometimes we want to, I can do it all by myself. And instead of doing it all by yourself, it might be doing it with someone so you guys can make it happen. Versus I have this pride that I'm going to hold on to because I feel like I need to do this and I don't want to let somebody in. Okay. Let people in while you're building, but be cautious on how you let people in and who you let in. Okay. Not everybody can be in, but if it's a certain task that you know that they're good for, that they've already done and it's already been proven, let them in. Look at your network. Okay. Look at your network. And I'm speaking to myself on this one. Look at your network. Who can you connect with? Who can you build with, right? I'm horrible at that. I need to get better. So that's another thing, a bonus. Okay, what I'm not doing in 2025 is I can do it all by myself. No, I'm networking. I'm talking to people. I'm connecting. I'm giving more of my skills, more of my talents to them, And if there's something I see this person's really good at this, gleaning from them, learning from them, whatever that may look like. So sometimes we have that good old pride of like, I can figure it out, and we learn that as a kid of like, I can do it all by myself, But as we grow up as adults, sometimes that can hinder us. So that is my list. Plus bonus, you guys are so smart. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like more content, and I want to hear from you. No, really, okay? Leave some comments below, even if you're the first one. It's okay. What are some things you aren't bringing into the new year? What are you letting go of? I want to hear from you. All right, until next Tuesday. See ya.